You've spent all summer out there, watering, weeding, worrying about your zucchini like it's a family member. And honestly, good for you. Gardening is one of the best things you can do. But here's the thing. Nobody tells you. While you were babying those tomatoes, a handful of small, quiet herbs were sitting right next to them, worth anywhere from 10 to hundreds of times more per square foot. Today we're talking about 10 herbs that are quietly outperforming everything else in your garden. Some of them you've probably walked right past. Some you may have pulled out thinking they were weeds. And one of them, we'll get to this, is literally worth more than gold by weight. Let's get into it. Point 1. Lavender. Let's start with one you might already have. Lavender. Now, most people think of lavender as something that goes into a sachet in grandma's drawer, which, fair enough. But lavender is quietly one of the most commercially valuable herbs a home grower can have. Essential oil from lavender sells for anywhere from $20 to over $100 per ounce, depending on purity. And the plant itself, it practically grows without you. It likes poor soil, full sun, and minimal watering. In other words, it thrives on neglect, much like certain relatives we won't name. But beyond the money side, lavender has a well-documented calming effect on the nervous system. Studies have found that inhaling lavender can reduce anxiety and even lower heart rate. There's a whole field of aromatherapy research built around it. So what you have here is a plant that smells wonderful, costs almost nothing to grow, can generate real income if you dry and sell it, and actually benefits your health while it sits there being pretty. Compare that to your lettuce, which bolted in June and is now a sad yellow stick. The application is simple. Plant lavender in the sunniest, driest corner of your garden. It'll take over, and you'll be perfectly okay with that. Now that was impressive. But what I'm about to tell you next, most gardeners have no idea this plant even exists as a home-growing option. And that's a shame, because it changes everything. Point 2. Saffron. Here it is, the big one. By weight, saffron is one of the most expensive substances on the planet. We're talking anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 per pound. More expensive than gold in some grades. And before you assume you'd need a farm in Spain to grow it, you don't. Saffron comes from a small purple crocus flower called Crocus sativus. Each flower produces 3 tiny red threads. Those are the saffron strands. The reason it's expensive isn't because it's rare in nature. It's expensive because it must be harvested by hand, thread by thread. No machine can do it, which means labor is everything. But here's where home growers have a quiet advantage. You're not paying for labor. You are the labor, which means the profit margin for a home grower is extraordinary. You plant the bulbs in late summer. They bloom in fall, usually October. You pick the threads in the morning, when the flowers are just opening, dry them, and store them in a sealed jar. A small bed of 100 bulbs can realistically produce several grams of saffron per season. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a lot of work for a few grams. And you're right, saffron is not for the impatient. But then again, neither is gardening. You've already proven you have the patience. You waited 3 months for a tomato. Saffron is just a tomato with a much better salary. And beyond the money, saffron has been studied for its potential benefits on mood, memory, and even eye health. It's not a miracle cure. Nothing is. But the research is genuinely interesting. It's an herb that ancient civilizations treasured, and modern science is starting to take seriously. Okay, so saffron might have you thinking about replanting your whole garden, and I don't blame you. But this next herb, it's been sitting in grocery store spice aisles for decades, and most people have no idea what it's actually capable of. Point 3. Turmeric. You know it as the thing that turns everything yellow. Your cutting board, your fingers, your favorite white shirt. But turmeric is one of the most studied plants in natural medicine, and for good reason. The active compound in turmeric is called curcumin, and curcumin has been the subject of thousands of research studies, looking at everything from inflammation to joint health to cognitive function. The results aren't perfect. Bioavailability is a real issue, meaning the body doesn't always absorb it well. But when combined with black pepper, absorption improves dramatically. That's not folk wisdom. That's documented chemistry. From a growing standpoint, turmeric is surprisingly easy. You plant the rhizomes, those knobbly little root pieces, in spring, in rich soil, with regular watering. You get lush, tropical-looking plants that are honestly gorgeous. And by fall, you dig them up, slice off what you need, replant the rest. One plant produces enough turmeric to supply a kitchen for months. And fresh turmeric root tastes remarkably different from the dried powder. Brighter, more aromatic, a little peppery. If you've only ever had the jar version, fresh turmeric is a genuine surprise. Grow it, use it, and appreciate the irony that something this useful has been sitting in the spice aisle for $3.99 the whole time. Turmeric is a workhorse, but the next herb on our list has been a kitchen staple your whole life, and it's been hiding its real resume the entire time. Point 4. Rosemary. Most people know rosemary as the thing that goes on roasted potatoes. And yes, it does that beautifully. But rosemary has been doing double duty for centuries, and the kitchen is honestly just its day job. Beyond cooking, rosemary has been studied for its effects on memory and cognitive function. Some researchers believe a compound called 1,8-cineol, which is present in rosemary's scent, may support mental clarity and alertness. There's even some research suggesting that simply being in the presence of rosemary aroma can influence memory performance, which is remarkable when you think about it. A plant that helps you remember things. Very handy for those moments when you walk into a room and completely forget why you went in there. Not that any of us would know anything about that. Rosemary is also practically indestructible. It's drought-tolerant, pest-resistant, and once established, it will outlast most of what's in your garden. Plant it once, it's yours for years. It asks for almost nothing and gives back generously. Truly the ideal garden tenant. Rosemary has been quietly impressive for centuries. But the next herb, it's been calming people down for even longer, and right now, it might be exactly what the garden ordered. Point 5. Ashwagandha. Yes, it sounds like something you'd mutter under your breath when the lawnmower won't start. But this ancient herb, used in Ayurvedic medicine for over 3,000 years, is one of the most talked about adaptogens in the world right now. Adaptogens are plants that help the body manage stress. Ashwagandha has been studied for its effects on cortisol, the stress hormone, and some research suggests it can reduce feelings of fatigue and anxiety when taken consistently over time. It's not an overnight fix. Think of it as a slow tide coming in. You don't notice each wave, but over weeks, the water level changes. Growing it is straightforward. It likes warm, dry conditions and well-draining sandy soil. It's drought-tolerant, which means it thrives on the kind of benign neglect that experienced gardeners have perfected. The root is what you're after. It takes about 6 to 8 months to mature, but once it does, you have something that health food stores sell at prices that will raise both eyebrows. Ashwagandha handles stress, but the next herb handles something we all deal with a little differently. And it does it with a scent so pleasant, you might just stop worrying about the whole garden altogether. Point 6. Lemon balm. It's in the mint family, which means it spreads with great enthusiasm and zero apology. If you give it a corner, it will claim the corner. then possibly the path. Then, if you look away, the neighbor's yard. You've been warned, but here's why you let it happen. Lemon balm has a well-documented calming effect. Research shows it may reduce anxiety and improve sleep quality. You can brew the fresh leaves as a tea, add them to cold water for a gentle lemon flavor, or dry them and store them for winter. The scent alone, a soft, clean lemon, is genuinely soothing. It costs almost nothing to grow. It comes back every year without any help from you, and it makes the garden smell like a spa. Not bad for a plant most people have never heard of. Lemon balm is the quiet one. But the next herb on our list isn't quiet at all. In fact, it's been fighting for your immune system since before most modern medicine existed. Point 7. Echinacea. You may know it from the cold and flu section of the pharmacy, those little purple capsules on the shelf with a picture of a flower on the front. That flower is Echinacea, and the plant growing in your garden and the product in that box are essentially the same thing. Echinacea has been one of the most studied herbs in the world for immune support. The research is mixed, as it always is with herbal remedies, but a number of studies suggest it may help reduce the duration and severity of colds when taken at the onset of symptoms. Enough that it remains one of the best-selling herbal supplements in North America year after year. The plant itself is gorgeous, tall, with bold purple daisy-like flowers that pollinators absolutely love. It's a perennial, meaning it comes back every single year without replanting. The roots are the most medicinally potent part, though the flowers and leaves have value too. You can dry the flowers and make tea, or tincture the root in alcohol for a concentrated extract. It's beautiful, it's useful, and it basically takes care of itself. If your garden had a Most Valuable Player award, Echinacea would be in the running. Echinacea looks after your immune system, but the next herb has a completely different reputation, and it comes with a name that sounds like it belongs in a temple, because it kind of does. Point 8. Holy basil / tulsi. Holy basil, also known as tulsi. Now, when most people hear the word basil, they think of pizza, fresh mozzarella, a nice summer caprese, and regular basil is wonderful, genuinely no complaints. But holy basil is a different plant entirely. It's been sacred in India for thousands of years. In Ayurvedic tradition, it's kept in the home as both a spiritual plant and a medicinal one. And modern research is starting to understand why. Holy basil is an adaptogen. Like ashwagandha, it helps the body cope with physical and psychological stress. Studies have looked at its effects on blood sugar regulation, inflammation, and anxiety. The results are promising, though research is still ongoing. What's particularly interesting is how many different ways the plant can be used. The leaves can be brewed as a tea, used fresh in cooking, or dried and taken as a supplement. The flavor is remarkable. It's not like Italian basil at all. There are varieties that taste faintly of cloves, others with a hint of cinnamon or pepper. It's complex and aromatic in a way that makes regular basil seem like it's not even trying. Growing it is easy in warm weather. It loves sun and warm soil. It grows quickly, flowers prolifically, and the flowers themselves are edible. And here's the quiet kicker. A well-established tulsi plant can produce enough leaf material to supply a household with tea all season long. Your pizza basil is fine, but your tulsi is pulling double duty in the kitchen and the medicine cabinet. Holy basil is one of those plants that the more you learn about it, the more you wonder why it isn't in every garden already. The last two herbs on our list have that same quality, and one of them might be the best thing you can grow for a good night's sleep. Point 9. Valerian. Valerian root. People have been using valerian to support sleep since ancient Greece. That's not a typo. Ancient Greece. While other civilizations were busy inventing democracy and philosophy, Someone was also apparently staying up too late and reaching for valerian root. It's been studied for its effect on sleep onset and sleep quality. The evidence is mixed, as it so often is in herbal research, but enough studies show enough benefit that valerian remains one of the most popular natural sleep supplements sold today. All from a plant you could grow in your backyard. Valerian is a tall, beautiful plant with soft clusters of white and pink flowers that smell. And there's no gentle way to say this, a bit unusual. The flowers are lovely. The root, once dried, has a distinctly earthy, pungent smell that has been described as gym socks by people who are being honest, and musky and complex by people who are being diplomatic. But the root is what works. And if it means sleeping through the night, most people are willing to look past the smell. It takes a full season to develop the root properly, so patience is required. But by the following year, you'll have a plant that produces one of the most sought-after sleep supplements on the market, right there in your garden. Valerian takes care of the nights. And our final herb? It takes care of everything else, quietly, cheerfully, and in the most beautiful way possible. Point 10. Calendula. Technically a flower, practically an herb, and one of the most useful plants you can grow, full stop. Those bright orange and yellow petals have been used in skincare preparations, healing salves, and soothing ointments for generations. Calendula is anti-inflammatory, gentle on sensitive skin, and remarkably versatile. You can infuse the petals in a carrier oil and apply it topically for dry or irritated skin. You can dry the petals and add them to teas. You can even use them fresh in salads. They add a mild, slightly tangy flavor and a color that makes the whole bowl look like it belongs in a magazine. Here's what makes calendula special in the garden. It reseeds itself. Every year, without asking. You plant it once, let the flowers go to seed at the end of the season, and next spring, up it comes again, right on schedule. No work required. It's the plant equivalent of a guest who does the dishes without being asked. Calendula also blooms for months, longer than almost anything else in the garden. While your other plants are winding down, calendula is still out there, bright orange, doing its job, looking cheerful about it. It looks like a little sun sitting in your garden bed. And quietly, without any fuss, it's working harder than the rest. Here's the simple truth. A vegetable garden is a beautiful thing. And nobody is asking you to give up your tomatoes. They've earned their place. But most of us are leaving enormous value on the table, and on the shelf at the pharmacy, and in the supplement aisle, and in the candle shop, by overlooking what herbs can actually do. Lavender, saffron, turmeric, rosemary, ashwagandha, lemon balm, echinacea, holy basil, valerian, calendula. These aren't exotic. They aren't complicated. They're plants that have been trusted by cultures around the world for thousands of years. And they're ready to grow right alongside everything else you already have. Give them a corner, give them some sun, and then just see what happens. Because the best gardens aren't just beautiful, they're useful, they're generous, and they give back far more than you put in. That's worth more than any tomato, even the good ones.